We'll move on here. On the Democratic debate stage last summer, Kamala Harris put a few tough questions to Joe Biden on the issues of race.
I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
It's a mischaracterization of my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true.
Vice President Biden, do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
All right, joining us now for analysis on what Biden's VP choice means for the election and investors is pollster and political strategist Frank Luntz. Frank, was Kamala Harris the most likely? I think it was, but I actually got swayed yesterday by the predicted numbers that Susan Rice might actually be the choice. But all along, I thought that probably Senator Harris was going to be it. Where were you?
Well, I brought with me a couple examples of where they have absolutely gotten it wrong. That was when Ronald Reagan was going to choose Gerald Ford, or the example of when John Kerry was choosing Dick Gephardt. At least most of the people got it right. But I want to raise the point because everybody is saying that Joe Biden is the prohibitive frontrunner. I just want to remind viewers of this famous headline: Dude defeats Truman. This is one of the most difficult elections to survey. This is one of the most difficult electorates to really understand. They are angry. They are frustrated. They're nervous about the future. They're afraid for their kids. There's a group that I'm looking at right now that I think is going to determine this election, and that is women with children of school age. That when you get to be of that age and of that family status, you start to move from Democratic to Republican. And these women have moved away from Donald Trump in the last 6 to 8 weeks because they find this pressure to send their kids to school, and they're very nervous about this. This is a business issue. This is an economic issue, because how can the economy resume? How can we bring people back and return life to normal if they have to stay home with their kids or they're arguing or fighting over childcare? I think that Harris was a safe choice. But I would also remind people that there's a video of her with Stephen Colbert, and I think you guys have it in the control room, where she laughs off that criticism of Joe Biden. And I don't think that video is going to do her well. In fact, I think it's going to be the most watched video of the next 3 months.
It was a little bit too honest, I think, or cynical or something, Frank. I don't think we have the video, but I referenced it earlier because I think we all thought about, I remember when she said it to Joe Biden, and it did seem like she was going to say that. It had been, we knew that she was going to go there and bring up that she was that little girl on the bus, but it was still very effective. And she was a very, it seemed like sincere person to talk about those issues. And now, and I understand that debates, after they're over, everybody eventually hugs and supports the candidate. But to go back and say, you know, yeah, that was just a debate and that was a tool I was using to try and win the debate, I think that sort of adds to the phony persona that they're going to try to use on the Republican side to try to put her in that box.
We've done this maybe a dozen times, you and I, over the last year, and we have often disagreed. And you and I could not agree more on this. I think it adds to this cynicism. Now, I'm very careful about my analysis of her, because if you looked at the last 12 hours of coverage, she's being protected. She's being celebrated. And in this era of cancel culture, if you're critical of her in any way, you're called a misogynist or a racist. Chris Dodd learned this personally when he was critical of some of the responses that she gave him in the vetting process. So I urge people, be very careful about what you say. But that doesn't change the fact that it's a level of cynicism and a level of dismissal when you simply blame a really tough, harsh criticism on the fact that it's a debate. Should we not believe her when she debates Mike Pence in the fall? Should we not believe things that she says simply because it's a political moment for her? I'd like to think that we can reach a higher standard in this remaining 85 days. I'd like to think that we can do better than the campaigns of the past.